I am so honored and delighted that this man knows my name, and he's going to be one of the guests on our podcast tonight. Please welcome Guillermo del Toro. Now, I would like to, as Guillermo's taking a seat, I want you to know people are passing out tickets. This is part of a giveaway. We're doing a Google VR giveaway so that you can check out, you're going to get 50,000 of these are being distributed. And then there's very specific experiences from Warcraft, Crimson Peak, and Pac Rim when you go over to the Legendary booth. So you can redeem those.
Can I ask a favor? When Tom Hiddleston comes out, ignore him.
Yeah, that's...
Don't applaud, nothing.
It's impossible.
Nothing, nothing.
He's hypnotic. So let's just really quickly talk before we show some footage, a little bit about Crimson Peak and why you wanted to make it and why you thought it was important to tell.
Well, I wanted to create a really classical, lush, lavish Gothic romance. You know, it hasn't been done in a while, and they're always female-centric movies that have very strong protagonists. I have two daughters that are incredibly strong, and my wife is my high school sweetheart, who's incredibly strong. and I really think that many times in some of these movies, the girl ends up being a damsel in distress, and I wanted to create a tale that was a classical Gothic romance. Don't expect a reinvention when at the end turns out that the house was a spaceship and it was an experiment about nothing. Or it's all a studio and they're shooting a TV show, nothing. It's a straight Gothic romance, but where certain twists are a little more gender liberating, shall we say. And they are a little more about being yourself and stuff like that, but that we stop. I'm incredibly conscious about this with two daughters. We live in a world that there is a secret gender war, and we have to, as a storytellers, it's our duty to take these great genres and great forms and retell them a little, in that conscious of them.
Excellent.
That said, I wanted it to be scary, and notice I don't use that word that Thomas said.
What word are you talking about?
I have huge control. I wanted it to be scary, and I wanted it to be gorgeous. And I think it's one of my 3 favorite movies I've done, and is, in my opinion, you don't have to agree, is the most beautiful movie I have made. Está de poca madre.
So why don't we show a clip from this, and then we'll have a little announcement about something from the trailer after you guys see it.
Let's do that, and let me warn you, for those that don't like spoilers, there are spoilers. What the damn? I'm not gonna say it.
Let's now meet the cast of Crimson Peak. I think you're gonna be very excited to see Mia Wasikowska, Tom Hiddleston, Jessica Chastain. The long walk all the way across. Oh, there it is. Welcome. Please.
Thank you very much.
That is his life. I love you. My God.
I always say that if they found him grinding poppies in an alley, they will go, oh, poppies. So nice. Me too, man.
So, you guys, this is the first peek that you've seen at the trailer. Do you want to make an announcement about the Allerdale Hall?
Well, we are creating an experience at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. So, all of you that live in California or partake, I'll see you there. It's gonna be terrifying and cool.
Excellent. Mia, let's start with you. What can you tell us about your character, and what was the experience like being on set? I mean, the environment was so immersive.
Yeah, I've never been on a set like this before. It was the most beautifully created mansion, and the detail is just so incredible. And yeah, I've never been on a set like that before. It was amazing.
Yeah. I know backstage, I was talking to Tom about what we were going to talk about here, and he goes, I want to just throw it to the fans. I would rather just have the fans ask questions because everything he says makes your heart melt. Oh. So we're going to open up the floor to fan questions right now, and you guys can ask the panel whatever it is that you want to know.
He has a great accent.
He does everything about him. Yes. Hi. What? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name?
Angel.
And what's your question?
My question is, I know they built the set. Sorry. So I want to know which part of the set do you guys like most?
Well, that's a really good question.
What did you say? Which part of the set do guys like most?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. Just lean closer to the microphone. We can't really hear you.
Like, which part of the set do you guys like?
Which part on set do you guys like most? Like, what's your favorite part of this? Is it the acting or is it this? What do you love?
Of the physical set, you mean?
Yeah, the castle.
Yeah.
I personally, the Great Hall, I found just jaw-dropping. Because you have to understand, the house that the Sharps live in is in Cumberland in the north of England, and the house was built on a soundstage in Toronto. And when I walked in for the first time, it was just breathtaking. Because it was on 3 or 4 stories with a working elevator, and if you actually trod on the floorboards, the clay which is underneath the house would seep across the floor. It was the most extraordinary place, the most extraordinary set I have ever seen. And I was actually very sad when they had to tear it down. That's what they do on
It is
films.
very sad. Yeah. I like the bathroom. I mean, it sounds horrible, but the bathroom's gorgeous.
Yeah. That's very important. Jessica,
It's not for the reasons you think.
I feel like some of the reasons we think.
Well, yes, that too.
I mean, maybe I'm a bit possessive, but I really liked Lucille's bedroom. And every corner of that room was filled with something that, I can't really explain it because it's all spoilers, but it was so, so beautiful, and it's photographed beautifully.
Mia, what was your favorite part about making the Crimson Peak?
Probably just, being able to work with Guillermo and the cast who was so fantastic. And I was new to the genre and to the concept of horror, and I found Guillermo gave me a copy of Frankenstein, and there was an introduction to the book that he wrote, and it was like sort of an education in why it's an important thing and how we learn about ourselves through our fears, and so it was kind of amazing to have Guillermo as a guide in this new world, and it's really cool.
Excellent. Let's. What is your name?
My name is Katie.
And what's your question?
My question is for Tom. I want to know, from your perspective, how is Mr. Del Toro different from the other directors you've worked with? I mean, what's unique about him?
Well, the first thing to say is that we all got given these extraordinary character biographies when we received the script. And it was a 10-page life story, maybe even it was 15, I can't remember, but it was the most incredible document with my star sign and my date of birth and the secrets that I don't want to tell anyone and what I like and what I don't like, and a horrible time I had with my aunt when I was 13 in Whitehaven, and that kind of detail is what we should all do with every character we play. And I just had the best time with Guillermo. Guillermo has an enormous imagination, and getting to live inside that imagination with all of his detail and rigor and precision was a huge pleasure. And I've never been teased so much on set by another director, but I liked it.
We're like twins.
Yeah. We're like twins.
Like the
Mentally.
Danny DeVito film, right?
Yeah.
You mean like the movie Twins?
I'm Danny DeVito.
That make me Arnold, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Darcy.
And what's your question, Darcy?
Okay, so this is for Guillermo and for Tom. Ever since I saw this one interview, I was really curious. What was the difference between the original version of Thomas Sharp and the one that was rewritten after Benedict dropped from the cast?
Well, the first thing you do is when you write a screenplay and you have a first, second, third draft, whenever you go out with the screenplay, then what I do is I then work with the actors. I generate these biographies that are about 10 pages, give it to them, and then we sit down and do what is called table work. And what we do is we discuss the biography with the pages, what they like, what they don't like, and we go through a beautiful, fun discovery process. We say, oh, I would do this because of that, and I would not do this because of that. And you kind of then come out of those meetings supercharged. You go back and input all that visually or audio-visually into the set design, into the way you're designing the sound, or in pieces of dialogue and staging. But ultimately, all of it is fed into it. The movie, as Jessica was saying, Lucille's Bedroom, for example, came out entirely of these discussions, and every single piece in there tells you a little bit about her. I say that I write the movies on paper, but really they get written on film. And if you pay attention in my movies, if you are watching every detail should add up to that. So it changes a lot. So Thomas Sharp was, and every other part was tailored to the actor doing it. Now it's Tom's turn.
Excellent. And then just sort of branching over to Jessica, what were some things that you took away, or what were some things that you liked about your character that you can share?
I like a lot about my character. I love her. She actually absolutely breaks my heart. What I love about her is that she's fiercely loyal, and she acts out of love to receive love, in her way to give and receive love. Most of that came from working with Guillermo and reading the biography he sent me, and we'd be on set together working on a scene, and the biography, the secrets of who Lucille was, would inform the decisions made in the scene. And sometimes new scenes would pop up. Lucille's Bedroom would pop up. We had a great rehearsal with Tom in London, and we read our biographies for each other. But I did ask, I said, please don't read anything that you wouldn't want your sister to know.
Oh, that's great.
So I made sure that I kept my secrets and we all kept theirs.
Yeah, we don't share the biographies. The actors don't share them, so they can keep secrets from each other, and that is actually a fun game.
It's interesting. The film is so much about secrets, and I think all of us in our lives, we all try and live in the present. We live in the here and now, but we are formed by the past and the things we did, the things that were done to us, and every character in this film is either weighed down or liberated by what's happened in the past. And the house itself is the past and witness to what happened in that house. It saw everything, it heard everything. And I think the exciting tension in the film is that it's every character is struggling to create their own destiny. I think that's fun.
Excellent. I think we have time for one more question. I think that's you.
Yes. I'm Donana. First, I wanted to thank Jessica and Mia for portraying such strong, multifaceted characters. And I wanted to thank Tom and Guillermo for just supporting them and giving them that spotlight. But the question, I'm sorry. Over the course of filming the movie, what was the most creatively or emotionally challenging part of that for you?
The last act of the film is an emotional roller coaster that exists at a very intense pitch, and we all had to kind of hold hands and battle through it because it can take it out of you some days. But I loved living. I mean, I think most actors become actors because they're fascinated by extremity. They're fascinated by what happens when people are tested by physical, psychological, or emotional challenges they have to overcome. And I personally find the last 45 minutes of this film is headlong and thrilling. And there's twist after twist, and you don't know where it's going to go. And it was a very satisfying challenge to overcome.
Excellent. So before we let you guys go, Guillermo, do you have one thing that you want to say to people about this movie that you want them to take away from Hall H to go see it when it comes out in October of this year?
I think this is the first time that I felt really empowered by the support of Legendary and Universal with Mimic. I decided in '97, I said, I'm going to do my more young movies in America, things that I loved as a kid and stuff like that, but I'm going to keep my more adult and hardcore stuff for my European or Spanish language films. And this is the first time that I ventured into this. Early on, we decided it needed to be R, it needed to be complex, and I secretly was hoping, I hope the other shoe never drops. I hope we never have to cross that bridge where they say, well, yes, we remember we said it could be R, but this is too much, or this is blah, blah, blah. And it never happened. So I'm very, very happy to say that I felt for the first time completely free to make an adult movie in the English language. And I hope you guys enjoy the hell out of it.
Hey.
And I would say, hell yeah. Go see it, please.
October 16, 2015, Guillermo del Toro, Mia Wasikowska, Tom Hiddleston, Jessica Chastain, Crimson Peak. Excellent. There they go. And people are rushing out, cards are being loaded. Like, if anyone should be allowed to say the F word in Hall H, it should be Guillermo. We should just change this to Hall F, and then he can just... You're good.
I love you all too.
Just so you know, you're all pregnant now. That's how that works. Enjoy your babies. Enjoy your Hiddle babies.